Introducing first and boxing out of the red corner, wearing the camouflage shorts, weighing in at 11 stone, 5 pounds. He comes to the ring for his 6th professional fight from Bicester, Oxfordshire, Scott Bricktop James. And his opponent, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the all-black shorts, weighing in at 11 stone, 7.5 pounds. He comes to the ring for his professional debut from Rainham, Essex, Liam Wells. Your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Jeff Hines. Your timekeeper of the bell is Mr. Bob Edgar.
So 6 rounds is to schedule for, and that's a statement in itself when you're making your debut. Not too many fighters kick off with a 6 rounder. It is generally the preserve of top international amateurs, to be honest.
He is a fit young lad, and I've actually got a matching tattoo to the one that he's got on the side of him there.
So you have. He's got a tall, lean kind of look to him, Wells. This schedule for middleweight, I think, as he progresses, he might look to box at super welter. He'll have to find out, basically, what is going to suit him.
Thing is, he's durable enough for middleweight, but I do think he'll be better off at light middleweight. There's no reason why. He's got a little bit on him to come off, so if he leans up a little bit more.
He's got long arms as well. You can tell that, just trying to shoot out that left hand. James though going to the body with the right hand.
I remember sparring him and thinking, he's only a kickboxer, I don't want to be much to him. But he really impressed me that day. I was hitting him, he'd fire him back. We did the rounds, and he wouldn't stop. You know, he's a boy. You can catch him for a shot. He won't be phased by it. He's got a clear head, and he'll be nice and calm. And this is what I'd like to see him. This guy's here to fight, and Liam will enjoy this, and he'll appreciate this.
2 wins, 3 defeats so far for Scott James. One against Kevin McCauley last time out. Kevin McCauley, one of those road warriors we were talking about earlier on, got a win against another fighter of similar kind of ilk, and defeats against Lewis Crocker Carnhorse and Jack Povey. So they're all good fighters, those 3.
Carnhorse usually boxes here at Brentwood on these MTK shows as well. Potentially a fight down the line for either of them.
Just off the back foot there, throwing the jab.
He's nice and calm. He's nice and calm. Do you think this is his debut? It's a 6-round fight. Look how calm he looks. When you have boys come out, usually they come out reckless. They're all guns blazing. They want to put on a statement and impress their friends. Liam's nice and calm here. He looks composed, not getting carried away. Look, landing clean shots like that. This is a great start. He's not putting too much on it in him. He's not getting too excited.
Just swapping southpaw there. 8 to right hand as he tried to come forward. But it's all that time he spent in another ring. He's used to combat sports. He's used to being in there. So he's fought that fear away, if you like. He's been under the lights in a different code, but still very valuable kind of experience. Does carry those hands quite low. Wouldn't mind seeing him just pick those hands up a bit. Does shoot that jab and bring it back quite low at times as well.
Got hit with one low there from the right hand. Didn't seem to phase him. He's the kind of kid you can hit him with a shovel and he will not budge. Just because you can doesn't mean you should though. So I agree with you. Maybe get his hands up. He's not slick. He's not dancing, slipping, rocking and rolling. So perhaps it might benefit him to practice keeping high hands.
Good first round for him. No bell goes at the end of it.
I'm sure he'll be happy with that. To the very first round of his career. You know, the boys in the corner will be happy with him.
"27 years old. I think he'll want to find out quite quickly how good he can become.
Second out, round 2.
Jeff Hines just ushering Wells back at the start of the second round. Liam Wells making his debut in the black. Scott James in his 6th professional fight in the camouflage. I'd like to see him use that jab. He's got long levers, he's got obvious natural advantages like that, Wells. Good to see him just establish that jab, just build off the back of that, switch his southpaw.
He's good with them straight shots. He is good with them straight shots. You can see his opponent tensing up, preparing to take those shots as he throws his own. Which means he obviously has some sort of respect for Liam's power.
I think the weight with him will be quite interesting because, as you say, he could probably slim down a bit and make super welter, but when you look at that frame, he could also fill out quite a lot if he wanted to go the other way.
Yeah, he's got the height for it, and he has got the legs for it. He's not got skinny legs, but I mean, he might stay as a middle, but there is a lot of very big middles out there. I think this 6-round fight is going to suit him nicely. He's not getting too carried away, and he will do this same pace with the same strength for the whole 6 rounds. I can tell that from experience.
Another one who likes to switch. Good right hand there, though, as he went back into the orthodox stance. I do think he's better from an orthodox stance by the look of him so far.
I feel like he's bothering his opponent slightly here now. It's not like he's not a big one-punch knockout power. He hasn't got that. Very few people have. But he does have enough to, every time he hits you, you know you've been hit. And you get hit with another, and another, and another, and eventually you don't want to get hit no more. It grinds you down, it catches up with you. And especially with these little 10-ounce gloves, and I don't think people listening to this that watch boxing and enjoy boxing appreciate how much them gloves actually hurt when you get hit with them.
Interesting point you just made there, actually, about power, and people like to see it, of course, people like to talk about it, and people like to be known as big punches, but you do hardly ever see someone spark someone with a single shot. It seems to be the kind of holy grail that everybody wants to be able to do it, everybody wants to see it, but it hardly ever happens.
Very few fighters have that one-punch parry. We spoke earlier about sometimes looking out of the ring can be a negative thing. I just see Liam do that then, and this is the difference. The guy we see look out the ring earlier looked in a completely random direction at absolutely nothing. Liam looked at his corner, who gave him information, and then he responded with a smile on his face, but you could see he was registering what he'd been told. So it wasn't a negative look to the corner, it was any new information you can share with me, look at the corner. Which shows he's calm and he's composed. It wasn't a panic look. He looks like he's thinking, he looks like he's still calm, he looks like he's still composed. I would like to see him jab a bit more, like you said. I would like to see him use a bit more defence, but he's in a 6th round in his first fight. He's not doing too much wrong, and his opponent's coming to win as well, so you can't really ask much more from him.
No, and the mistake would be to blow a gasket in the opening couple of rounds, pouring too much out of the tank, and he's definitely not doing that.
Corners, 10 seconds. Hangers out, round 3.
So into the third, they're scheduled for 6. Liam Wells in the black, Scott James in the camouflage. Wells has made a good start here. This is his debut. Good experience behind him in the kickboxing world. Has achieved great things there, but now turning professional as a boxer, just turning his man into the ropes. Nice right to the body there. Then went to the other side with the left hand as well, and he's just beginning to find some chinks here. You mentioned it in the previous round, he was having a bit of joy. He's had more success at the start of the third too.
I haven't seen Liam throw too many hooks, and now I just see as I've looked at him, he's thrown 2 and landed both as well. So perhaps if he starts, I mean, going away from this fight, for me, he's got the long arms, he's good with the straights, he's strong, he's fit. Maybe work on keeping them hands up and getting a few hooks in there. A bit of variety wouldn't do him wrong. Like you say, he's starting to tee off a little bit now. He's enjoying himself in there. I think the opponent can sense. I feel like James feels like he needs to pick up the pace, so he's putting the pressure on. Whereas Liam, I still think, is more composed.
And he's just dialed it up slightly in this third round as well.
Again, a few rounds could give you can give both boys a share of either round, but I do feel like Liam is ahead by at least a round. You could say a round and then 2 drawn rounds. Obviously, we don't like to do drawn rounds, but you could give a share to both the boys in 2 of the rounds. I do think Liam's ahead, but Liam staying nice and composed on the inside there, just looking for his opening. He's not panicking. I think this is difficult. I think people are going to forget watching this boy. This is his first ever fight. He's done other stuff, but technically this is his first ever boxing match.
Good right hand, nice left hand there as well from Wells. He's finding a nice bit of distance every now and again too, because he does move in, but he's not getting too close. When he does get too close, he just takes that half step back. Just did it there just to find a bit of space, and he's beginning to feel a few of these, I think, James, who, as you say, has been in this. He's given him an argument, certainly, but Wells is he's kind of growing into the fight a bit here, I think.
I feel like Wells is starting to bother him a little bit. He caught him a shot there, and I kind of thought he caught his attention. Look how he's watch him grit his teeth as he gets close. Looking to set up that backhand.
Just walking forward behind that right hand a little bit there, James, and he was stuck. Not in the greatest position there as well. She took a step to the side and looked to find him. Then turns him in the corner. That's a nice combination. And now he needs just to push him off and find a bit of room as the bell goes. Just increasing the pressure here, Liam Wells, as we hit the midway point of this one, scheduled for 6. Could maybe put his foot on the gas in the second half here and get a stoppage.
Yeah, I think a stoppage is in the cards. I would say still James is still in the fight. He's still not out of the fight, but you can sense that Liam may have the opportunity within the next 2 rounds to finish the fight if he keeps landing clean shots.
2 of our A-star referees just away to our left-hand side, Terry O'Connor and Ian John Lewis. Ian John Lewis is on duty at Wembley Stadium tomorrow night.
Ian John Lewis is a former fighter as well. I read his autobiography a few months ago. He did enjoy the fighting, but I think he enjoys reffing a bit more.
I bought some boxing photos this week off an old boy who lives just down the road from me in East London. Loads of them. And I was going through them, and there's a couple of absolute belters of Ian John Lewis when he's fighting. So I'm going to take one to Wembley tomorrow, and unbeknownst to him, going to show it to him and see what he makes of it. It's a really good picture. He's got hair. He's in great nick.
He had a big afro back in his boxing days, I believe.
No, it was great. It was brilliant just looking through all these things, you know. Early pictures of Lennox Lewis, early pictures of Nigel Benn and all the rest of it. Wells just looking for a right hand there, doesn't quite manage to land it. Ooh, good left hand there from Wells. Dismissive with the right hand there, Wells. James still just coming forward. He's always coming forward, trying to make something happen. Yeah,
as much as we've sat here and said that how great Liam Wells has done, just think James hasn't stopped coming. He's kept firing back, and at times he has looked in distress. But when he's weathered the storms, he has always come firing back. So you can't take it away from him tonight. He's made a real good fight out of this, and I still think it's competitive. Liam with a nice little smile on his face there as he looks over to us in the commentary box here.
Definitely still competitive. Good work there from Wells.
I must admit, we did speak earlier about not siding the boxer, but I'm a fan of Wells. Knowing that this is his first fight and having shared some rounds with him, I believe that he's got something there that he can go forward with. Obviously, sparring's different to actually boxing. There is a million miles between the two of them, but this is his first test tonight as a professional in a 6-round competitive fight, and he seems to be coming through. You'll see boys go 10 fights before they have a fight like this. 6 fights before they try a 6-rounder. So fair play to him tonight.
And he's just beginning to get marked up a bit. James as well, a bit of blood coming from the end of the nose. Just trying to keep in close there, wrap up those long arms of Wells and dig to the body if he can. That's good variety there from Wells. That's some quality boxing. Found some angles and then took a step away to his left.
Massive combination he landed there. It almost looked from this angle as if Liam was going to drop. Nice touch with a jab there. He can set things up from that.
Went back to southpaw, missed with the left hand.
Oh, Liam starting to land. That was a nice uppercut to end the round.
It was a good combination. Landed the right hand and then just pushed his man off. Shouldered him off. The referee just having a quick word about that. Then found the uppercut on the inside and he's just getting busted up a little bit. Scott James, as we look over to his corner away to our right hand side. He's still in this though. He's still throwing back. But it's getting progressively harder for him.
Yeah, he's not winning the rounds, but it is competitive. Like you say, it feels like it's Liam's getting more comfortable as there's more discomfort coming for Scott. I wouldn't mind seeing Liam throw a few bombs now every now and then, try and think, you know what, I'll get, not reckless, but commit a bit more to a few shots. Later on in the fight, his opponent's looking tired, take a chance.
10 seconds. Second out. Round 5.
So into the fifth.
Wellesley with them long arms.
James still coming forward, looking aggressive at the start of round 5.
He's not looking to be bullied, is he? James is not looking to be bullied tonight. He is here for a fight, and he will not let Wellesley push him around and bully him. He's not having it. Like I say, the same as the end of last round. Yes, he's looked times of distress at some times, but as soon as he weathers the storm, he's back on the case, like now.
Looking to lead with a left hook there. James didn't quite land it. Wells making a touch of space for himself. That was a good left hand, straight left hand from the southpaw stance. Which stance suits him best, do you think? I'm not really sure watching this.
I do think he's more of a natural orthodox, but when he does that southpaw, I think if he's 100% confident with his orthodox stance, I think he's about 75% with his southpaw stance. And because he's that confident at it, he's good enough to land the shots. He never makes massive mistakes with it. So, to be honest, so far what we've seen tonight, a lot of them doing it, he's been the best at it. He's the most basic out of them, but he does the basics very well.
Again, just using his shoulder to make a bit of space there.
And for me, so far, this has been the best fight of the night. It's the most competitive. They both look like they're here to win tonight.
It has been. James deserves a lot of credit for that because he's taken quite a few good, crisp punches, but he's always been looking to get on the front foot and answer back and try and make something happen. He's in good shape, you can see that. Good right hand there from him with his back to the ropes.
Made Wellesley take a step back with that one as well. But I feel like Liam doesn't actually get drawn into that ego match, you know, where you hit me, I hit you. When he gets hit, he sets off and he gets on his toes and resets. A low one there. So far, this seems to be a James round at the moment.
Could well be, just leaning on Wells there. Good left hand there, though, from Wells, but he took it well. Took it very well there, James. That landed clean.
Nice bit of work there from Liam. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if that was a James round. He did a lot of work there. Liam maybe took a round off, took a bit of time, started with a few straight shots, but I felt like the better work did come from Scott James in that round.
So just one to go in this one, scheduled for 6. Liam Wells making his debut. Strong background in the kickboxing world. He's stepping between the ropes as a boxer for the first time tonight. And there's been plenty in the tank because this has been fought at a good pace, this fight, and he's going into the 6th round and he looks nice and fresh.
He does. Again, I would like to remind everyone that this is Liam Wells' professional debut. This is his first fight in front of people like this in a boxing ring. So I think he deserves a hell of a lot of credit for what he's done tonight. Also credit to Scott James for what he's done tonight. He's kept it competitive all the way through.
So 6th and final round.
I do think after this fight, as you can see, they're not looking to hang him around. He's in a 6-round fight and in a competitive fight in his debut. They're not going to hang around. If you're in the middleweight or light middleweight division, you want to keep your eye on him because they're only going to want him to have 3 or 4 fights before they're going to chase Billy Bird or Matt McCarthy for one of them titles. Maybe Taylor Jones or Linus, whoever wins that, needs to watch this guy because they're not going to hang him around for too long. I'm not by any stretch of imagination saying he's going to beat him at this stage, but they're certainly going to be looking to put him in their position soon.
Then they go with a big left hand there, Wells.
He's good with his feet when he needs to move.
That was some good work there, wasn't it?
Switching direction there.
A little in and out and then found a couple of right hands.
I'll be interested to see the scores at the end of this one because it has been very competitive and there's a couple of rounds where you can't deny that Liam's won the round, but then there's other rounds where you can give a case for a close round again, and then like the last round would have gone to James. So I'll be interested to see what scores come out at the end of this.
That was a good left hand there, landed by Wells. As James moved forward, he just stepped away to his right and really caught him as he moved towards the ropes, but he just grits his teeth there, bites down James, and again looks to try and come forward. He'll definitely know tomorrow when he looks in the mirror that he's been in a fight tonight.
I mean, I don't know if Liam's backpedaling because he's feeling the pace or because James is putting the pressure on, but it's definitely been a well-fought contest at a fantastic pace.
He's happy enough on the back foot, I think, isn't he, when he just has that little bit more room. Odd step to the side. He's found some good shots from that kind of position. He's landed more and he's landed cleaner. It's as simple as that overall.
Most certainly cleaner. Most certainly cleaner. I can't stress enough that this is the boy's debut, and look at the fight he's been in. Fantastic work for him. He'll learn tonight from this fight here what some boys don't learn in 5 fights.
Good left hand from James there as he was coming forward, but just setting his feet there. Wells looking to dig to the body, tries the uppercut, didn't land.
It seems like the punches that Wells is landing at the minute are just strong enough to not stun his opponent. Just strong enough to not stun him. They land clean, they bother him, but they're just not good enough to stun him.
Landed a couple clean there, and then a follow-up with a right hand just slid over the shoulder of James, who I think will be relatively keen to hear the final bell now, because Wells is just beginning to turn the screw a bit here, put his foot on the gas, and there is the final bell.
And a fantastic contest it was.
Was a good fight. Was a good fight. And Wells said, well, you wouldn't exactly describe him as even breathing heavily, so the engine is definitely there. The engine is definitely there. There's plenty of room for improvement, of course, but I think you're right. I don't think they will hang around too much. They'll figure out what's the best weight for him and then make him in proper matches.
There's plenty of room for improvement. It's clear to see he's got a lot to work on, but he's also got a lot more than a lot of boys have in a debut. He's got things that other boys haven't got, but he is lagging in things that other boys do have. I also believe that he's going to be one of them boys that won't mind losing. So he'll be happy to take, in 10 fights, he'd have boxed 7 50-50s. And he won't care if he's lost 2 or 3, because out of his 10 he might have boxed for a Southern Air or an English. He's not going to be bothered about a loss. Liam looks like he's a fighter. He'll fight anyone, he'll win, he'll lose, he'll fight again. And he's a smart young man as well. I've spoken to him myself, smart, and he wants to learn.
And after 6 rounds of professional boxing, the contest has been scored 60-54 in favour of your winner and marking his professional debut with a victory, Liam Wellesley.
So Liam Wells gets it, and he gets all 6 rounds.
I have to say that's a bit harsh. I don't really agree with that. That's a bit unfair, and the boys in the red corner weren't too happy about that. I agree Liam won the fight, but red corner should have had a share or 2 of them at least.
To the ring from Nicaragua, now based in
Congratulations, that was your debut, and what a great performance. You got thrown in the deep end with 6 rounds. You must be delighted with that win.
Yeah, no, they do believe in me, and I trust them, everything what they say to me. Yeah, a bit gutted, I didn't get to work as hard as I could. They know I work really hard, and that was probably like 70%. I didn't work hard, and I just missed quite a lot of my punches. I felt like, I don't know, I just expected myself to do a lot better,
But you started off, you seemed very confident, you didn't seem in awe of the lights, you know, being your first professional, and he was a very tough opponent.
I've done this so many times now, so like the occasion doesn't bother me. I've got like the best team and trainer like in the world now. Yeah, I've just got to listen to what they say and go back and review.
I know these 2 were a little bit nervous. Adam, you must be pleased with that one.
Yeah, really pleased with the performance. To go straight in at 6 rounds is hard. I think Liam would be better over longer distances as well, so when we get to it, a few more fights down the road we'll be going for longer rounds.
Well, I'm sure you take a lot of confidence out of that.